Paul, you are next.
I took notes on things and then I worked on it last night. And really it's the same as what Larry's saying, that everyone thinks real estate is so easy. And if it was so easy, we'd all be millionaires and we'd all have every bit of money we ever dreamt of. But the thing is, you have to work. And I was impressed at the meeting that when he asked the ages of how long people had been in real estate, there were 412 people or something like that at the meeting. I would say a third of them had been in the market for over 20 years. And so when you see that it's the established realtor that is still wanting to learn and rejuvenate, which is why I go to these meetings. It's simply because I need the motivation again and again. It's great to go to convention, you know, just motivate yourself again and rejuvenate and understand, you know, this is why you do it. You love it. And you're not, if you don't work, it's not going to work for you. A lot of the things that they talked about, we have this great book that is all different sorts of samples and things. But he gave us ideas on working our clients, working farms. He believes in that, which I am the best person in the world to talk about farms because I make a lot of money off my farms. And I've been doing this a long time, but people, and I send recipes, which is not the best thing. You have to just do something. But there were 3 men that spoke to us. And really, it's just staying consistent, always doing consistently something so that your name is out there. One of the fun things that I've never thought of doing is that you give your client a postcard, and it's in the book, you know, as far as an example. If they go to open houses and you're not with them, it says you have this free certificate to attend the open house, and you give it to the other agent so that they know, oh, this is a client coming in of someone else. And people, you know, think, oh, this certificate is really treasured, you know. So, which is nothing. I mean, you're just printing it. One of the things, I've done several market values just in the last, since we came back, and he said, how are you pricing? And the room got really quiet. Nobody had a great idea on how you're pricing. And he says, is it really best guess scenario? And that's what it is. I hate to think that. I am a real detail. I have to have evidence. This is what the market is. And it just isn't. You know, it's just whatever the seller and yourself can come up with as a start point. And our rental market is losing monthly. We've still not hit bottom. I don't know about, you know, going north or going east, but we've not hit bottom yet. So I just tell people this is what it indicates today, but let's see what tomorrow brings. Some of the things they talked about, it's really me as far as how I learned. He said always try to present your offers in person, that it gives the seller an idea of what your buyer is actually like, the type of personality they are. It helps to know the selling agent, and that's, you know, now that we're so spread out and we don't really contact people face to face, but if you know that agent and you have a rapport with them, it helps in getting your offer accepted. The foreclosures that I've been working with and the short sales, I write a cover letter that explains my buyer and explains that, you know, we've done everything they've asked and to please consider it. I always put it with my offers, and it's been really helpful. Well, you're going to talk about the telephone system, which that was a really interesting thing. He says, or they say, that staying in touch is the very best thing, that you talk to the person for days. I just had a closing. We were on the phone 4 times, 6 times with the attorney, with the buyer, and with the other agent. And then we closed last week, and I thought, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to, you know, Tiffany this whole week. You know, here we are. So you have to stay in touch after that so that they remember, man, this person really worked hard for me. And I picked up clients that we worked with yesterday. I had sold their parents a home in 1998, and they sent their daughter to me. And I've always stayed in touch. So I think part of the thing is if you're learning, you just have to know. You can't give up. He said, I think it was Rand, had said that you have to have at least 5 contacts with a client before the client actually thinks this realtor is serious and will be worthwhile to work with. I always had the 3 rule. I'd contact 3 times. If they didn't follow up with me, it was bye-bye, I'm done with you. I've changed my attitude a little bit. Maybe I'll try 5 and see how that goes. But it's just keep trying. It's, we're people. We're people persons. That's why we're here and that's why we work. And so you just have to have patience, and it's been very hard, I'll tell you. When he had us do, and you might think about it, he had us pull up what we had earned this year and what we had spent this year, and then compare it with last year. And I went back 3 years. It was pretty shocking how I've lost in what I've earned. I mean, I'm no different than anybody else. But you think, okay, I'm going to survive this. But you know, it swings around with your attitude, and you just have to keep working. There's just, keep thinking, I'm a person, they're a person, they need me. And I think the telephone system is a really good positive. So it was exhausting. My mind was just mush by the time we walked out there.
Mine too. The second day, I was overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I went home and I said, I gotta not think about this at least till tomorrow. And he said that. He said, don't try and do all this stuff.
No.
Try one. So I picked one for you, and I'm gonna suggest you try. But you know what? You obviously agree with what you want.
Yeah, when I was going back through the book last night, I thought, oh gosh, because I just put it away because I came home and I was busy. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to implement one thing, because I try to do that annually. I try to do something new every year that I can continue doing. And we did. I mean, my mind was just gone by the time we came out. It was so much to pour in 2 days, and no breaks. I had a complaint about that because you were afraid to leave the room. You might miss something.
Yeah.
So
it was very, I thought, very, very well done. I like the idea she's saying there of going back and getting re-enthused. Paula's been one of our most enthusiastic agents all these years, but she feels a need to go back. We don't go to church on Sunday to learn what we're supposed to do. We go to church on Sunday to remind ourselves of what we're supposed to do. You know what you're supposed to do. And you're born with a lot of it. Thank you so much. That's great.
okay.
But before you do, let me give you the questions that I had asked them to put into their part. What was the best idea you heard? What was your favorite idea? What did you learn that will help you make the most money? What are you going to do differently? What are you going to do differently? If we don't do anything differently, we're going to get what we get. How can we do better to further lead the market? How can we help all our agents make more money? And then I had a bunch of other questions, but those are the ones that I've been doing. And I got what are 1 or 2 things you plan to do first? What's the first thing you've done? So anyway, we're going to go down the line and just have them tell you, and then you are welcome to ask questions. Yes, ma'am.
Paul was right. We had, it was a full 2 days. I didn't like the break, not having a break, because I was afraid to leave myself, but I liked it in other ways that we didn't have to waste that much time. I get their concept because there was so much to learn. It's hard to get a group that size in and out and still, be on track. The things that we heard, I think most were not new. Some of the concepts were new, or how to get to them, but like Ed said, going to church, you don't go to church to, you know what you're supposed to do, but you go to church to be around the people, to be enthused, to get involved, to remember why you're doing this. And my agents in my office know what a stickler I am on education. You can't get enough. You can't get enough of this stuff. You can't get, we got to do this. And one of these ideas is going to stick. What I really liked